My name is Steve. Welcome to my shop. This is Saturday, January 1st of 2022. And this video is going to be a follow-up on the last video that I did where I did an unboxing on a CUT50 plasma cutter from Banggood. This is a plasma cutter that Randy Richard from Randy Richard in the Shop did a pretty extensive review on. He did an unboxing and I hopped online because I was actually interested in one and did a little bit of an impulse purchase. It happened to be on a flash sale, so I picked it up with some extra consumables. And when I got it, I realized that I had to change the plug, and I had a couple other changes that I needed to make in the shop. So I'm going to move the camera around, probably going to go handheld on a couple of shots here, and show you what I've done in the shop, really to set up to be able to use the CUT50 plasma cutter. Then we're going to give it a try. I've never used a plasma cutter before, so you'll see it first. The compressor that this replaced had an 80-gallon tank. It was probably about the same power. I forget what this is. I think it's around a 3-horse, something like that. Anyway, the other one was over 50 years old, and I really didn't trust the tank anymore. But anyway, neither here nor there. I have been using this primarily for my cool mist coolant on the grinder and for filling tires, so I never bothered putting the air filter on it. The plasma cutter requires nice dry air, so the first thing I did was replumb the air on my compressor. I put my filter on it. This is a good filter. It was used when I used to do some spray painting. Painting cars, I use this filter. And there's another filter on the plasma cutter, which I'll show you when we get over there. But then I also added an extra tap, and I picked up a new air hose. This is an Amflow 1/4-inch hose, and I really like them for the shop. I've got a lot of hoses. I've got over 100 feet of 3/8 air hose, but it's just a little unwieldy to handle in the shop. So let's go back over to the bench and I'll show you what else I've done. Okay, I've installed the supplied pressure regulator filter on the back of the unit and hooked that up, and I put my air fitting on it. And the other thing that I needed to do was change out the plug. It had a European style plug, so I put a plug on it to match my welders. So it's all ready to hook up. I haven't used it yet. I did plug it in to make sure it works, but I have not tried to use it. The next little project that I did was to make up an extension cord for the 220, both for the welder and now the plasma cutter. I had this cord, it actually was originally for an RV, and it's 12 gauge cable, so I put the correct plugs on it, and now I've got an extension for the welder and the plasma cutter. Well, let's turn it on. There really weren't any instructions to speak of with this. There was a booklet, but it covered all their welders, and it was only a couple pages. It covered welders and the cutter, and all it really did was give specifications. So I have my air pressure set at 30 pounds to start with, because sounds like a good number. I don't know where to start. I'm going to put the amperage up. I'm going to go to 20 amps. Now it says it's at 20 and it's reading, what, 11, 12. You can probably see it there. When I go to 30, it hits 30. When I go to 40, it's 45. And maximum at 50, it says 53. But we're going to start at 20. And I'm going to move my camera. Okay, this first piece that I'm going to try is 16 gauge sheet metal. I'm going to put my gloves on. I've got a piece of angle here that I'll use as a guide before I put my gloves on. I have a pair of flip-up shades to fit over my glasses, and I use these for light gas welding and cutting. We'll see how that works out. Well, here goes. This is my first shot. I said I've never done this before. I have no idea what to expect. Now let's give it a try. Well, it scored it and didn't quite go all the way through. Did go quite fast with it. What I've got to do is take and my fence moved. I'm going to move it back a little bit and clamp it in place. I'm going to move the amperage up just a little bit. Just went up another notch. These flip-ups are not working with these pair of glasses. I've never used it with this particular pair. I got to do something different and come back. Okay, I just put my welding helmet on and turned down the intensity on the tint. I turned it way down. So let's give this another try. Okay. Well, my first cut with a plasma cutter. Not too bad. I was a little shaky with it on the, there's some dross there. It's not bad cut. Well, I've still got this set for a relatively low amperage rating. I'm going to try a piece of stainless. This is just a piece of scrap from a job that I did recently for my son. Let's just see how. This is probably around, I don't know, probably about 18 gauge. And I'm not going to bother using the a guide on it. So clamp that and just take and see how it cuts. Okay, I mean, it cut clean enough. It would have helped. It's a pretty ragged cut without a guide, but it went right through. Alright, let's set up for a heavier piece of material. Okay, this piece of material is actually more typical of what I would be using. And this is 3/16 structural steel. I think it's A36. It's nice and clean. I'm going to crank the amperage up to 30, and I think I'll try and increase the air pressure a little bit. Okay, I'm up at 40 pounds on the air pressure. I got a leak back there. I'm going to have to look at that, see if I can fix that. Let's give this a try. Very nice. That's a nice straight cut. A little bit of dross on the bottom. So that's 3/16 A36 steel at 30 amps. Next piece that I'm going to set up is 5/16 A36, and I'll bring it back when I get that set up. Okay, I'm all set up for some 5/16 A36 steel. So far, having no expectations whatsoever on this, I'm pretty happy with the results. Like I say, this is absolutely the first time that I've ever used a plasma cutter, and I've done a lot of oxyacetylene cutting, but I'm going to raise my amperage up to 40. I fixed my air leak, just had a loose air hose. So let's give it a try. This is 40 pounds at 40 amps. It's not going through all the way. Let me increase the amperage up a little bit more. I think I'll try and raise the air pressure just a little bit. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, The section that I did with the higher pressure went fine. It didn't recut real well. I'm going to take and reset up and try this again. Set up to try it again. Let's see how we do. Oh, that's better. Got some dross on it, but not too bad. That's a nice clean cut. I'll take and bring you in a little bit closer. Now that cut, although I had the machine set at 40 amps, I have the air pressure up to 50, although I think that might have been a little high. And that cut the 5/16 steel just fine. And I don't see me needing this for much more than that, maybe 3/8. I know Randy was successful with a piece of 1/2 inch, and he slowed it way down. But I got plenty more to go. I got another 10 amps to go. There's the display with the amperage set at 40 and the air pressure up between 45 and 50. And that cut the 5/16 with absolutely no problem at all. With some more practice and experience with this plasma cutter, I've got another valuable tool in my arsenal for doing my machining and fabrication. Very pleased so far. As I mentioned during the video, this is absolutely the first time that I've ever put my hands on a plasma cutter. And although I have a lot of experience with oxyacetylene cutting, this is similar, but it's different. It takes a little bit different feel. And once I get the feel for it, I think that it's going to be a very valuable tool. I've enjoyed making this video. Please give me a thumbs up. Comments are always encouraged. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to my channel. My goal for this year is to hit 5,000. I'm at 36, almost 3,700 right now. So I need 1,300 more of you to hit that subscribe button. And I have more than that watch that are not subscribers. So have a happy new year, and I'll see you in the next video.